Blip, 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 blip.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Bodacious Rant with the ever so lovely Burn and Rye. Today is a bit of not a special day. It's just an interesting day. Just
eventful.
Eventful. It was, yeah. That's a way better word. Just because Marvel finally decided to drop their official / probably final. I think it is the final trailer for the upcoming Spider-Man No Way Home. And it was about 3 minutes of epicness, not gonna lie.
Yeah, long for a trailer.
Yeah, and actually, it kind of really spelled out the plot in this one. Maybe a little too much, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I can kind of see that.
Because I'm in the mindset, I was fine with the teaser. It was a pretty impressive teaser already, where it already kind of gave us the idea of the multiverse issues, especially when you see the Green Goblin's grenade and you saw Doc Ock come out and was like, "Hello, Peter." Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, cool. I'm interested already. So, but you know what, Bern? What were your first reactions when you saw the trailer?
To this one or to the one that's already come out?
We'll stick to this one, the new one.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, like you, I'm one of those people that doesn't need a lot of trailers to be interested in a movie, and honestly, for a while there, I kind of preferred it to be just like no trailers at all. But since we do this, it's like we want to let the people know what we think about these things when they come out. So, for this trailer, yeah, it is very much more of like an official trailer, whereas the last one was a teaser. Like it expands upon like the ideas of the movie of the multiverse being cracked open, and all these villains that we've seen in previous iterations of Spider-Man. Now that they're like in here, like what their deal is. So it showed off a lot more of the villains. Like this one we got to see Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin. We got to see Jamie Foxx's Electro. We saw hints of Sandman and Lizard there. So it was very much like, okay, like here's the deal. Like all these other villains from the other movies are in here now, and it's up to this universe's Peter Parker to round them up, it seems like. So I think, yeah, like you said, like it kind of gives you the idea of the plot, but I also think it dials it back just enough to where it's not a complete spoiler for what's about to happen. Yeah,
no, that's fair. I still think there's going to be a couple more things that'll surprise us, but personally, like I said, I do like trailers. I'm not gonna lie. You know me. I'm fine.
Oh yeah, I do.
Except for when I went to go see Antlers in like a regular theater, and there were still like 50 trailers. I was like, oh man, I'm used to just being like 3 or 4 now. Let's speed this up a little bit. But again, this was a great trailer. I think this is definitely one of Marvel's better ones, just because it does spell out the plot and it kind of shows us more stuff. But I think the last one did enough for me, so I was just kind of waiting for the movie, to be honest, because it's only a month away at this point. So,
yeah.
But there was a lot of cool reveals in this one, let alone like we saw the Sinister Six, basically. Well, Sinister Five. We don't know who the sixth one's gonna be quite yet, because they did, because we saw Ock, we saw Green Goblin, Sandman, Lizard, and Electro. I'm thinking the sixth one could be Venom, and that would make a lot of sense, just because. Well, actually, you know what? I don't know if we should. Maybe I shouldn't go too much into it. I'm gonna stop right there in case anyone hasn't seen Venom 2, even though because I was on only a theater one, so I will leave it at that. But
okay, yeah, I was gonna say that's kind of like one of those things. It's like if you're watching this movie, I think you've seen Venom 2. I mean, like you kind of have to.
Well, in case for any of our viewers who haven't seen it, I'm gonna stop right there. But let's talk about some of the stuff that got us excited by it, or that was kind of cool. I will start, Burn. I will say that seeing more of Doc Ock in this trailer was pretty cool, especially when he has Peter pinned to a thing and he's like, "You're not Peter Parker." It's like, oh, okay, shit. So he's not like completely, like, I don't know. I didn't know how it was gonna work, given like his Peter Parker was Tobey Maguire, but I don't know if it was like a universe thing where he came from this one and now he just is like mind meld into this one. You know what I mean?
Right, where like they get dropped into this universe and it's like they've already been a part of it the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's like the alternate timelines are blending in, so it's like he already knows he's Peter Parker. But I thought that was pretty cool, and Yeah, and I really like the little thing when he's kind of in, like, I guess, Doctor Strange's lair. I almost said Doctor Evil's lair because that sounds so natural. But they're in that, like, I think part of the sanctum or something like that. And, he's like, like, what's your name? Otto Octavius. And they start laughing. Just like, seriously, what is your name? Like, come on. It's like, little shits. You guys are so disrespectful.
Yeah, it's like a play on, like, the name is so on the nose. Otto Octavius, Dr. Octopus. It's like, it's way too obvious. It can't be real. But yeah, it is.
But I also like Zendaya's little quip when Doctor Strange's like, you better Scooby-Doo this crap. It's just, I know some magic words too. Speaking of please. Please, Scooby-Doo this crap. I was like, okay, I like that little exchange right there. It's like, you little shit, you know who that is? That's the Sorcerer Supreme. He could turn you into goddamn rabbit in a hat for all he cares. And she's just like, no, you're gonna be polite. It's like, all right, fine. You have
like that. You had a hand in making this mess, like, dude. Like, you're not completely like
it's not completely Peter's
clear
fault
here.
Yeah. So, anyways, but what about you, Bern? What else caught your eye in this trailer?
I mean, like, the visuals of the movie look awesome. I think one of the cool things about these Tom Holland movies is that they're very visually distinct. With the first one, it feels very, small city-ish, where he's just, like, very much a neighborhood Spider-Man. And then, with the second movie, we got to see him, abroad, over there in, like, in Europe, running around there. So with this one, we get to see a little bit more of what I feel is, like a little more traditional feeling Spider-Man, where we see him, like, fighting in a city. I think that's something that we haven't necessarily gotten with Tom Holland. So yeah, it looks cool. I mean, the fight on the bridge looks very cool. It looks like there's going to be a fight with Electro and in like this. I'm guessing it's maybe Central Park, or it might be like some sort of like outskirts. But it looks like they're like out in the woods, and that's very cool. Spider-Man in the woods. Like, who would have put those two things together? And then, this fight, which looks like where he's taking on the Sinister Six, or the Five, as you say, where it's like they're fighting around what looks like the Statue of Liberty, but with a Captain America's shield being, like, put onto it. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I just... and the other thing I liked about the villains was that when they're coming into this universe, they almost look a little way more practical than they did in the last ones. Like Doc Ock's suit looks pretty cool. I like that it was, like, the red thing. I thought that was like his tech is blending into ours, so it was become like an Iron Man kind of arm thing. But
it's a nanotech from his Iron Spider suit that's like seeping onto his arms. I thought that was cool.
Yeah. And then Jamie Foxx, when he has the almost looked like the video game from the last one, where he's got like more of a rig going on, and then the electricity around his face forms the mask. I thought that was cool. Yeah, Lizard just looks like Lizard.
Yeah, he's the one that looks very much the same.
And Sandman just looks like Sandman, just epic and giant, so that was cool. Green Goblin looks like his suit got a bit of a touch-up, a little more sculpting, I feel like, especially in the mask. It looked a little more, like, emphasized the face, and the eyes kind of were sunken. I don't know, it was a glimpse. I'm sure it's not that much different, but I was like, it's cool seeing that suit again. I know a lot of people are still like, that suit's the dumbest thing for Green Goblin. He wouldn't like that. I'm like, it worked for me. It still works for me as a kid, like as an adult. Yeah. Like I don't know. It would be a little weird that he turns green, because then it's like, so he's like the Hulk too, kind of thing. I don't know. It's a little too much. So
it is kind of Power Ranger-ish, which it's a product of the time. Like I grew up with that, so obviously I'm going to have a little bit of a heart for it. But yeah, it looks like he does have a little bit of a costume change here, and there's like a small glimpse of him where it looks like he doesn't have a helmet. He's got like goggles and stuff. So at least for people who didn't like that, it looks like they won't have to deal with that too much.
I mean, it could be Dane DeHaan, could be maybe it is Willem Dafoe. We don't know, or it could even be James Franco if they brought him back for that, just because he was a villain in Spider-Man 3. So we'll have to see what happens with that. But
yeah,
I liked also the whole dilemma. Like, we thought it could have been an evil Doctor Strange, but it clears up that these villains have died in their universe, which they have in the movies, and
most of them, yeah.
And Peter's like, I can't let that happen. I want to save him. He's still got that ghost of Tony hanging over him, that he just doesn't want any more people to die, and also letting and Mysterio dying. I think that kind of is weighing on him too. But Doctor Strange is kind of in that mode of like, we've already fucked this up enough. We got to have some stability. You got to let this happen. So it's almost like they're fighting, and it's like they're fighting for like the best reasons in a way. Like they're both good guys, but it's also like because they're butting heads, it's just inconvenient for both of them. So
yeah, it brings up a really cool like moral conundrum. You know, like from the trailers, it looks like there's a few shots that make it seem like, you know, this time Peter's gonna get put through the ringer. Like it seems like there's gonna be a lot of tough going on ahead of him. So yeah, him having to bring in these, you know, people that are from different universes and sending them back to the universes where they're gonna die. It's like, oh man, like that's one of those things that it's like that's gonna weigh heavily on him, especially as for the, you know, after him being framed for murdering a villain, you know, with the whole Mysterio situation that got us here in the first place. It's like you know, Tom Holland's gonna have a lot of responsibility and great power, you know, to try to to try to fix this whole issue.
yeah, that's the only thing that's bummed me about Tom Holland's things. We never saw Uncle Ben, given we saw him the last two, you know, series of films. But it's like that was some of the best thing. That was the best thing about the Tobey Maguire one was Uncle Ben. Like he was his mentor into becoming Spider-Man essentially. So. Maybe he'll come back for this one. I don't know. I know he was trending on Twitter the other day because of Spider-Man. But besides that, and I think the last part of the trailer where you see like the purple, like reality splitting apart. I know Doctor Strange is saying like, oh my god, there's more coming, but we gotta stop them. It's like I think that'll be the moment where other Spider-Men could come.
Yeah,
so
I think so too.
We'll have to see. Anything else caught your eye, Bernie?
No, just on that. I mean. We're getting the villains from the other movies. It stands to reason that hopefully, you know, we'll get the two Spider-Men from those movies. But, like, you know, in the spirit of not wanting to, like, have anything spoiled, it's like, please don't put that in a trailer. Like, I hope the next trailer, like, I want that moment to be one of the things that people experience in the theater for the first time. You know, like, having that moment if there is this big Spider-Man team up, that's got to be like reserved for the movie. Don't please Sony, don't put that in the trailer.
One can only hope, but if they do, I'm ignoring the shit. I think I'm just gonna start ignoring trailers from them for the rest of the month.
We don't want a Batman versus Superman Doomsday trailer situation.
I mean, I did like you saw the Trinity there, and then, you know, I like that part, but yeah, seeing Doomsday, and even then, it was still disappointing either way. But anyways, that's all we got, folks. So if this trailer has been on for about a couple hours now, and I'm sure it's already in the millions of views. I haven't checked it, but I remember after like 7 views is almost at 500,000. So after
I think
7
last
minutes,
I checked it was like 13 million.
yeah, it's crazy. So check it out. The movie comes out on December 17th. So we still got some ways to go, but it'll be here before we know it in time for Christmas and stuff. This week we got Ghostbusters Afterlife coming out. Next week will be Thanksgiving, and we have Hawkeye starting to stream, so that'll be fun. But until then, stay bodacious, keep on ranting. What did you guys think of the trailer? Let us know down in the comment section, and we'll see you all again very soon.
Exactly, everybody. And as Green Goblin would say, sleep.
Peace out, everybody.
Adios.